Hey, ladies and gents, I'm back with the review on the Lorraine 40t. And I'm not going to go through how this was in game and whatever. It's another wargaming rant, and I'm already wound up as is. So, what is the Lorraine 40t? Well, it was an M4 project. It was as it was called by the French. They wanted to develop their own tank after World War II. So this was in about 1952, late 40s, early 50s. They wanted a 50-ton tank. AMX, of course, built the what we have in game is the AMX 50-ton. Problem is, it didn't weigh 50 tons. It weighed closer to 60 tons. So the authorities in the French government, military, whatever, decided to ask around and see if anybody could develop a tank that was under the 50-ton weight limit. And Lorraine, which is at the time was also an automobile maker that developed a couple tankettes, took up the challenge, and they came up with what this was called was the Lorraine 40-ton, which actually weighed less than 50 tons. However, to do this, they had to drastically reduce the armor compared to the AMX 50-ton. They built two prototypes of this tank in 1952. Now, what is odd about this tank is that and same with the MX 50-ton, is they used a lot of different design features from, I shouldn't say a lot, but they used some design features from the Russians, and they used some of the mechanical know-how from the Germans. After the late 40s, the only tanks they were using at the time were the ARL 44 and the Panther tanks, which were becoming outdated. So they developed. So they used some of that technology they got from the Germans, specifically in the engine department. Essentially, this engine that's on this tank is very similar to the ones they used in the Panther and the Tiger II. The front of the tank, as you notice, has this somewhat of a pike nose, just like the MX 50-ton. This is, of course, after seeing the IS-3 drive through the Berlin Victory Parade. So with the pike nose, they were able to offer a little bit more armor protection, even though with the very lightly armored tank that it was, by adding the pike nose, they thought they would get a little bit more protection out of it. So yeah, it was kind of a strange, borrow it from the Russians, borrow a little bit from the Germans, and then we come up with our whole new French thing, which is of course the oscillating turret. This was rather interesting. I did think I did a video about the oscillating turret, so I'm not going to go into it, but this allowed this tank, and you'll notice what I'm talking about, it actually pivots on a point here. So the gun going up and down, the actual turret moves up and back and forth on this pivot point. It also allowed with this oscillating turret for an autoloader. We'll go through the autoloader here when we actually do the in-game stats of the tank. The other interesting thing about it is that it actually added the road wheels were actually just tires. And of course, if you look at it, it looks somewhat similar to what you would see on a German tank. Of course, they borrowed some of the design features from the Panther and the Tiger II with the interweaved road wheels. Of course, they didn't do that quite like that, but they used two sets of rubber tires for the running gear of the tank. Two prototypes built. It was canceled because they figured out it would cost too much to produce this tank or the AMX 50-ton when they could get tanks from America at a much cheaper price. So the actual, I think it was the 46 or the 48 patent, I believe, was the tank they of choice. I believe it was the 46 patent was the tank they decided to go with instead of the home-built tanks. So what do we get? What do we get in game? Get a 300 average damage per shot, 232 pen. That is very nice. This 232 pen is ridiculously good for a medium at tier 8. 5.72 rate of fire, 38.4 on the turret traverse, 8 degrees of gun depression. You can make this work pretty nice. 34.48 for a full reload on the clip, which is not too bad. It's, it can be somewhat of a pain, so you got to make sure you know how to run an autoloader. If you're not familiar with autoloaders, I'll give this. I'll tell you right now. I'll give this a 1.5 thumbs up. It's not quite a 2 thumb up tank, but I do enjoy it. It is fun to play if you're familiar with autoloaders. And here's my opinion. If you haven't run an autoloader before, this one right here, get the Skoda T25. This thing right here will give you a pretty good idea how to run a low-tier autoloader. At least give you some idea of how autoloaders. If you're getting into the first part, if you're getting into the game and you're trying to learn how to run autoloaders, I can't. Skoda 25 is my tank to go to if you wanted to learn how to run an autoloader, because that's, it's a low-tier tank, and it definitely helps with the whole figuring out how autoloaders work. 2.5 seconds in between each shell, 2.53 aim time, 0.36 dispersion, and 1750 average damage per minute. Kind of light when it comes to firepower, but that autoloader will definitely make a difference. So 4 shells in the magazine, 232, 263 with the premium round. Yeah, very nice. 0.38 dispersion. Of course, these are base stock deals, but yeah, the 4-round autoloader, you can put out almost, typically right around 1,000 damage. I'm not going to lie to you. Very seldom do you ever roll the 1,200 or plus. Most of the time, you're right between 900 to 1,000 on a clip, which is still pretty nice because you're going to take off 3/4 of the health of most, half to 3/4 health of most tier 8 mediums that you run into. Hit points 1,300, 40 on the hull, 30 on the turret, and 40 on the hull, 45 on the turret, 30 on the side, 20 in the rear, 30 on the side here, and I have 25 on the course and the ass. Just don't get shot. These do not handle well. If artillery decides to start shooting at you, just fucking find someplace to hide. I mean, I've hit these things with a 53, 55 or a GW, and it's just pure wreckage. The HE shells go right through you. Don't get shot by Jagdpanther 100s. Anything with a high caliber 150 millimeter above with HE shells are going to wreck your ass. So yeah, if you see something like that aiming at you, just stop. Just stop and fucking find a bush. I'm serious. 40 tons, 850 engine power, 21.12 brake horsepower, 2 ton. So, gives you a top speed of 60 kilometers an hour, which is very nice. This is a very mobile tank. 36.27 for the traverse speed, 16 for concealment, 12, not too shabby for a medium tank, 388 for view range, still not the best, 766, I do believe the base numbers. I'm just using because I have improved ventilation class on there, so that gives me an extra 8. So 380 is the actual base on this tank. So 380 is not too shabby. I'm just threw a crew in here. So yeah, I haven't really even got a crew built up into it. So I'm just kind of running it. I just threw whatever I had equipment on in what I had left in my garage. To kind of give you an idea what this thing would play like. Yeah, so as a crew trainer, 3, the AMX CDC and the M4 do a better job of training crews. I'm just going to be honest with you. Like I said, 1.5 thumbs up on it. It's not a 2 thumb tank, but it's definitely better than a 1. Better than a 1. I enjoy it. It can do. You can put out an amazing amount of damage with the thing if you're competent with an autoloader. If you're not competent with an autoloader, I would not buy this tank, unless you really want to learn how to do it. I guess this would be a bad way to learn how to play autoloaders. It's a premium tank. You're going to make money no matter what. I got a couple games here. Your usual. Sticking around. So that's 92,000. I think this was a almost a 3K damage game. Yeah, almost a 3K damage game. I think I played 5 games in this tank tonight, and I was averaging. That was the highest one, I think, and the rest were. So I think I was averaging between 65 and 70K a game. So it was fair. No, I take that back. I had one other game. I think I had 95,000, but I had a bunch of spotting damage. So yeah. So over the 5 games, I think I averaged probably right around 70, 75K. Nothing spectacular by no means for the damage I did. But it's just like your every other typical tier 8 tank. 3K is 100 plus, easy. So, and it has the potential to do the 3K. So, with that said, I will bring up the play for you, and you can see what this thing does. Hey guys, back with the first gameplay in the Lorraine 40t and Muravanka. If anybody's ever watched any videos I do on this map, like I said, this is after course 2.0, but I do prefer the 9-0 over the 1-2. The 1-2 just turns into a slugfest of people staring at each other and playing shooty. Especially with this, since this the objective is over there to cap, and we have 2 artillery pieces, so there's really no point in trying to get to the objective. Those artillery pieces can easily reset the objective if they start getting pushed hard. That's, of course, you have competent artillery players, which I know is 1 in a 1,000. Fuck. So push up here pretty quick. Great speed, great mobility of this tank, and get into position here. Just finished my reload here, and I'm starting to look here and see if I can find some targets here. And I'm looking, trying to see. Can't quite get it. Fuck. Wow, where did he come from? Just started to get in on his target. I actually thought for a second that was an enemy tank, until I realized it was a green one. Pretty damn close to actually giving him a shot here. So I back up here. I'm looking at the IS-2. I'm kind of wondering if he's going to be popping over. That's about the time the 46 Patton shows up, and the T-29 are sitting over there. So I got a Patton and a T-29 sitting over there. He rolls high with 441, go figure. So I'm going to have to do something a little different here. So I pull over here and see what I can do with the IS-2. Put a nice shell into him, 323. And I'm not going to get greedy, because he will easily pen me for a massive amount of damage. So I'm going to wait till he's, of course, distracted. And that's what you want to typically want to do with autoloaders. I know people are like, well, you got 4 shells, doesn't mean you have to shoot them. Well, that's kind of fucking defeats the point of having an autoloader. In that case, you should just have a regular tank. So I'm going to wait for him to not be paying attention to me. And I'll pull around here, put 1 shell, and 1 more into him. Finish him off. Puts me up about 761 damage. Now, I know there's no tanks over here, so the only thing that's going to be is in front of me. And you're going to see here, and this is kind of the whole thing about autoloaders, is you have to be patient with them. I could poke out here, probably put a couple shells into the 46 Patton or the T-29, but they're both in pretty good positions of being hauled down, so I'm not going to have a whole lot of success in this situation. The T-29, he's just going to stare at me, which is fine. He can stare at me. Same way with the 46 Patton, he's over there probably staring at me through that bush. So I'm not going to really take the initiative here and lose some HP. So what you see me doing here is essentially waiting for them to finish off the Soma. These 2 are going to spend most of their time staring here where I am at. So these guys have a chance to go up there and work that Soma over there. With him over there and them moving over, I'm hoping that they'll probably, to a certain degree, they might decide that they're going to move over and assist the Soma, but too late, he's dead. So, no. GW Tiger P gets spotted, and I'm kind of waiting here for the chance to get out of here and get back up on the hill. And like I said, this is one of them things with the autoloaders, is you want to make sure you shave your HP, because you have no, especially the French, you have no, you don't have any armor. So I move up and run into the Leo. The Batchat 12, of course, did exactly what I didn't want to do. He poked, he got shot, he dead. So, AMX 5100, 120 is probably loaded, but he gets nailed by the T29. I got a Conway coming in, and this is what autoloaders do, and this is what they should be doing, is laying down this massive amounts of firepower on tanks. So I pull over, pick up the T29. I was trying to go for the other one, actually. Pull in there, put a shell into him. Pick up the Patton, put a shell into him. One more. And we got him down to 275. Puts me up to about, not quite 2K. And we're on the run. This is rather quick game. But like I said, be patient with the autoloaders. Wait for your chance so you can unload the clip without losing a bunch of hit points and whatnot. So back on the run. And I'm of course, reloading here. I got an SU-100M and a Jagdtiger over here. And, of course, the defender's in the middle here with the Batchat 12T. Batchat 12T decides he's going to go YOLO. And that didn't work out too well for him. Looks like he took a fucking shit ton of damage. Pulling on over in here, and then, of course, I'm looking over here for artillery. That's about the time I noticed that little bugger right there. And he puts one shell into me. And bullshit RNG. I was able to knock him out. That's just ridiculous here. Get up here, use my 8 degrees of gun depression. Pick up the SU-100. One shell into him. Come on, one more. 2 shells into him. Finish him off. Leaving me with 1 shell left and a almost dead Jagdtiger. Let's see if I can get up here and get a shell into him. No go. Yeah, quick game. We literally just smoked right through these guys. The 103 didn't actually do anything. He didn't push or anything. Kind of looking here. There we go. Finally get the shell in on him. Puts me up to 29.56. Not too bad. Get the reload started. And, yeah, it's going to take me longer for me to reload. Everybody's dead. So, hope you guys enjoyed the first game. And I got one more in the Lorraine for you. It's a little bit different, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, guys. Back with the second battle in the Lorraine. And we are on Siegfried Line. And this is, I'm sorry, even after 57,000 battles, I still have trouble sometimes with the map names. I don't know why. This is Assault, of course. We're defending. And I'm giving my team an idea what I'm going to be doing here. Hopefully they're going to provide me some cover fire. We have enough Hellcats, SU-100s, that kind of stuff, tiers. So hopefully somebody's going to cover me when I get out here in the corner. If you're not familiar with this map, enemy teams start out in the field and they have to assault into town. However, there actually is a Siegfried line with a ridge that runs all the way down the 5-6 line. If you can take the ridge and hold it out here and keep them out in the fields, your chances of winning increases dramatically. And that's exactly what you're seeing me doing here. Normally, teams will cower into the town, lose map control, and get the shit kicked out of them. I'm not that kind of player. You're going to see me move out here and run into the invisible wall, and I'm going to move up here and see if I can start spotting anything with my Lorraine here. Pick up the Hellcat. Yeah. 2 shells. Finish him off. And now, since I know I was spotted, I'm going to have to start moving around a little bit here before one of those artillery pieces zero in on me. Because even an M12 can fuck my day drastically. They've added a couple bushes here, so it's a little easier to play this position. You can see what I'm talking about here, because a lot of times they'll try to get up here into the 6 line, and of course, once they're in the 6 line, it's relatively easily to sit here and pick off targets such as the heavy tank number 6. Puts 2 shells into him, back off, and gets him down to about 318 hit points. So yeah, 1202 with that clip, not too shabby. We probably would have been a little bit more of that on that Hellcat, but hey, what are you going to do? You only got so much damage you can do. So wait for my clip to reload. We're already up 3-1 already. I do have tanks behind me. I have a charioteer with me, and of course the other Hellcat back in the back part here. So I'm going to pull over here and see what I can do with that. Oh shit. Come on. Finally get a shell in here. And one more. Come on, come on. Nope. And the SU-100. Oh, shit. And this is... I haven't had so much problem fucking track him. And, of course, the number of people that have fucking YOLO'd me in the last month is just fucking stupid. He had no chance in hell of actually killing me, but there he did it. So he takes off a bunch of my health just so he can die. And this is I don't even want to talk about it. The amount of YOLOing lately, especially autoloaders, is just killing me here. So I'm looking here, see what I can find. Looking for the 121, the STA one, anything, so I can get a couple more shells in here, of course, before the time runs out. Pull up in here. Yeah, there we go. Pick up the STA one, and of course the Cheeto. And I'm getting trolled by the Cheeto. There's one shell finally. Didn't quite finish him off. Come on, Cheeto, what are you going to do? Nothing. Lose him in the sights there. But I do pick up the 121. Finish him off. And, of course, the AMX 1375 shows up. And, fuck, APCR. Really? It's like I got a big sign on my back that says, fucking YOLO. Me, please. So, down to 95 hit points, and sitting about 2,000 damage, 1,100 spotted, not too shabby. I got to sit here and wait for my reload. These are relatively quick games tonight. Like I said, I played a total of 5 games in Lorraine, and I think I won 4 out of the 5, so it wasn't too bad of a night. But like I said, this stuff just pisses me off. Was the constant YOLO bullshit. So, finally reloaded, and I'm off the run, see if I can hunt down some shit. It's not looking good that I'm going to get much more damage because everything's almost dead, and I'm sitting with 95 hit points. I really, really don't want to get shot. So I'll pull around, maybe I can get the STA-1 from the rear. Come on, buddy, where are you at? What are you doing? What are you doing? There. Oh, finish off the STA-1, put me about 2,200 damage, and... we got a Hellcat and a artillery piece left, and we're on the run. Apparently artillery is being a dick again, our own artillery, because, you know, that's what they do. Greedy fucking clicker. That's the best one of the night. So, pretty good idea where he's probably going to be sitting. Yep, he's going to be sitting over here behind the bunker, because he's, you know, TD. Up and over, and see if I can pick up some, the Hellcat. Probably sitting over here. Yep, there he is. So, pull around. On the move. Oh, didn't quite get him. Everybody else finishes him off. So, a reasonable 2,200, 1,200 spotting. Yeah, not too shabby for a tier 8 medium, I guess. Thanks for watching, guys.